Well, hello everyone. Welcome to a new project I'm just starting here for the Naked Gaming Group channel. I'm SquareX987, and as you can see, I'm playing Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. Now, I am playing the GameCube version because I was trying out the, we'll get into. I'll just start the game, then I'll discuss that as we go on.
It all began as an ordinary day in September. An ordinary day in Raccoon City. A city controlled by Umbrella. No one dared to oppose them, and that lack of strength would ultimately lead to their destruction. I suppose they had to suffer the consequences of their actions, but there would be no forgiveness. If only they had had the courage to fight. It's true that once the wheels of justice begin to turn, nothing can stop them. Nothing. It was Raccoon City's last chance, and my last chance. My last escape.
No, there were a couple of games after this.
What are they?
Alright, well, now I can talk. I'm going to try not to talk over the cutscenes. So I decided to go with the GameCube version because I have the PlayStation 3 version and the Dreamcast version, but overall the graphics are a lot smoother on the GameCube. Of course, you know, it's a newer console, as to be expected, but it's essentially why I chose it. You know, I think it just looks better on the GameCube. That's why I chose this version. Well, anyways. You know, it's not much explaining to be needed for a game that came out. I hesitated there too long. Get out of my way. Not much explaining to do on a game that came out in 1999. But this version came out in 2003 on the GameCube, and you know, there's a lot of the other guys on this channel. They usually play like older games, more classic games. So I want to try to be a little bit different, try to bring something a little bit more modern. I know 1999 is not really considered classic yet, but it's not really like ultra modern either, so thought I'd just give this one a try. I've played all of the games in this series, and this is one of my favorite game series, and I have to say that probably this game here, the third one, is actually my favorite one in the series. That's why I wanted to start playing this one to begin with.
Okay.
We've got to
get out of here.
What? What do you think you're talking about? I just lost my daughter out there. How dare you tell me to go back outside?
I'm sorry about your daughter, but there isn't going to be any rescue. We have to get out of here.
No! I'm not going anywhere.
He's so angry.
Starve to death in here, then be eaten by one of those undead monsters. Now leave me alone.
Yes, sir. No problem. Well, anyway, it's a survival horror game, which I mean, you can call it that if you want. To me, it's more like an action. Well, It is survival horror, I suppose. There's horror elements, but I'd call it more like an action adventure. Or you could even say it's an RPG. Well, anyways, we'll just start off by looting this warehouse that just randomly had to have some handgun bullets. But yeah, as I was saying, oh, I'm going to take this first aid spray. And as I was saying, this is my favorite one in the series out of all the Resident Evil games because it added so much to the series, at least at the time. I mean, there's newer features now that go beyond what this game has to offer now, but this was a big advancement here over Resident Evil 1 and 2, well, at least on the PlayStation, was you had to hit the action button to go upstairs, but in 3 they introduced the option to where you can actually just walk up the stairs, which is blew my mind at the time when it came out back in '99. And there's no loading sequence from Resident Evil 1 and 2. There still are on some staircases in this game, but most of the short staircases like this, you don't have to actually go to a transition screen just to load the upper section. However, the door animations are still here, which I wish they hadn't gotten rid of this in some of the later Resident Evil games. I think this is a staple of the series that they should have kept. But anyway, we won't talk about the other games in the series just yet. We're just going to talk about this one specifically. And we found a back door key. That's to get out of this warehouse. And I'll go ahead and take this ink ribbon. Now the typewriter, I just said I wasn't going to talk about other games in the series. If you played any of the other games, the typewriter allows you to save. And let me drop this ink ribbon here. This first aid spray, we won't need that. Let me keep this other thing. We'll talk about it in just a second. Pick up this gunpowder. But anyway, the typewriter in this game allows you to save, which they kept it for Resident Evil 4, so I was kind of happy about that, but they kind of discarded it once Resident Evil 5 came out. I can't say the name of the series too well for some reason. Did I pick up that file that was laying in here? I don't think I did, or maybe I did. I probably did it unconsciously. No, I didn't. I thought there was a file in here. Maybe I'm mistaken. Well, that's okay. We won't worry about it now. Or I won't worry about it at this point in time. Oh yeah, also the item box. If you play it, well, Zero kept the item box. Or no, I'm sorry. I lied to you. Zero discarded it. The Resident Evil 1 and 2 and Code Veronica had the item box, which essentially is just a place for you to store items, and they're all linked together, so no matter where you are, no matter, can't even speak, wherever you are in the game, you can always have your items inside the item box here. Now, as you can see, I've already unlocked a couple special weapons, which I intend this for this one to be a casual playthrough, so I'm not going to use the special weapons here. I'm just going to do it the old school way. Well, anyway, we have this gunpowder here, which we can combine with this reloading tool, and that allows us to get more ammunition, which is one feature they added in this game, but sadly they discarded it after Resident Evil 3. I actually love that feature. Instead of just, you can still find the traditional way, finding ammo throughout the stages, or throughout the game, but adding where, I can actually just make my own ammunition is even greater. Or great in my opinion. Okay, well, anyways. I also have this boutique key, which you get from beating the game, which I will wear a different costume. I'm not going to keep just her standard costume here because I think it's kind of silly. If she didn't have the 1980s style jacket around her waist, it'd be okay, or it would be a lot better. But anyway, well, Jill, she grew up in the 80s. Fictitiously, she was born in 1975, so she would have been a child in the 80s. So she probably would have worn a coat around her waist like that. But anyway, let's go on now. Let's get to the actual game now. Well, also, I know most people have probably already seen this game, but I want to explain it anyways. Once you're done with the item, you can just discard it. You don't have to keep it. So we use that backdoor key, so now I don't have a use for it anymore, which the game just tells me that. It should let me figure that out on my own, but I think that would have been too far ahead of its time if it let me do that, at least in this series. But anyways, we have the option of going back towards the city, or in the city here, or we can just go right here where we're supposed to be going. Now, I have played this game several times over the years, so I'm very familiar with it. I'm not saying I'm a pro. Like I said, I intend this to be a casual playthrough. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to, I'm probably going to die a lot because I intend on fighting one of the major enemies in this game. Because you have the option of skipping this enemy. Once you don't have to fight him every time you see him. You have an option of skipping him. Well, it's not really a spoiler. There's an enemy called Nemesis, which is the main, I guess, subtitle of this game. You know, also, I don't remember. Do I have my auto aim turned off? I think I do. Let me see, 1 second. Yeah, aim manual. I used to play back in the day with auto aim, but you know, there's only 2 game. Oh, I forgot there was one more guy down there. There's only 2 game modes, easy or hard, which was always, you know, that was surprising to me when it first came out. There's not just a normal mode, so naturally, if you play on easy, the game's like so broken that, well, you pretty much can't die unless you're just really, really stupid and make poor decisions. So I went with hard mode. Plus, you get on hard mode, you get all of the. We can take some lighter oil here. We'll need that for when we actually find a lighter, and we get our first extra weapon here, a shotgun, which is in my opinion, the best weapon in this game. It's a Benelli M3S, an easy to carry sawed-off shotgun. It uses 12 gauge shotgun shells. No dur. Anyway, what was I saying? I lost my track of thought once I picked up those items. What the heck, I'll just go on. I'll remember what I was trying to say in a minute. Alright, here's our health. You have green herbs, which restore, I don't remember the percentages. It's been a while since I played this, but you can mix them with, there's green herbs, there's red herbs, and there are blue ones. The red herbs cannot be used by themselves, but if you mix them with a single green herb, have a green and red combo, then you can have a 100% health restoration. I think just a single green herb is 25%. And I think you can mix 2 green herbs together, and then you get, I believe, oh yeah, I forgot, I need to conserve a little bit of ammo here since I'm doing this on hard mode. So most of the enemies you can just walk around. In fact, there's people using, here's the boutique where we're going to get an extra costume here. But, you know, you can actually speedrun this game without firing off but a few rounds. But I think that's kind of stupid. That takes all the fun out of playing the game. Alright, so we get 5 choices here. And like I said, I've beaten this game several times, so I already have all the costumes unlocked. So we'll just see which one I want to go with. Oh, this is her, shoot, what's the name? Regina from Dino Crisis. Shit, there's a costume in this one where you can put on Regina's costume, which I don't know if I want to play with that one. Oh, that's the biker outfit. That one's okay. I don't really care for that one. Let's see. This is like a disco era, like business casual. No, thank you. Oh, here we go. This is probably going to be the one I'm going to go for, right? Oh wait, no, this is the police outfit, isn't it? This is not the one I'm thinking of. Let me see. Yeah, this is like the police officer, which, well, she is a police officer, so it's actually kind of fitting. But no, this is the outfit I was going to go for here. Her traditional Jill's costume from the first Resident Evil game. I actually like this costume the best. I'm glad they put it back, or they put it in here, because this costume was awesome. Except for I didn't understand the, the shoulder pads on her shoulders there, but you know, whatever. I can make do with it. Anyways, I'm gonna roll with this costume instead of her traditional one. Well, anyways, as I was saying, you can if you're playing on hard mode, not using the special weapons, you're just gonna have to kind of make a run for it through some of these enemies to try and conserve some of your ammo. That's the map for this little area here. But I won't be picking up every map because, well, honestly, I just don't need it because I know this game like the back of my hand, I think the phrase goes. But let's see, where do we? Okay, well, we'll go here. Well, actually, I have to go here first. I was already starting to question myself. Alright, Here's when the shotgun becomes really useful. They're not close together. But anyway, if I got both of those guys close together, I could have just done a headshot, did a one-shot kill for both of them. I guess that guy's dead. I'm gonna stick with a handgun for a minute. But let's see, what was I still can't remember what I was trying to say earlier, but
Get away!
alright, you have two choices here. You can either, that's one of the other STARS members here, you can either help Brad by trying to kill the zombie or let Brad kill him himself. I don't want to just stand here and do nothing, so I usually tend to help him kill that zombie.
Brad, hang in there. Why isn't someone doing something about this?
I didn't know you were still alive, Jill. The police aren't trained for this kind of situation. What could they do? Listen, he's coming for us. We're both gonna die.
What are you saying?
You'll see.
Those hand movements.
He's after STARS members. There's no escape.
Well, anyways, as I was saying, probably should. Well, I don't know if I want to talk about Jill. I don't want to give too many spoilers. But oh, here's our lighter that we needed. We finally found it. We just so happen to have the lighter fluid still with me, so now we can use our lighter. Now we can either follow Brad and go back outside. That was outside of the bar area that we just went around and dodged those zombies. But one thing about this game is it gives you multiple. You can take like. You have different choices of like different things you want to do, which was different from both of the previous games in the series. With Resident Evil 1 and 2, it was kind of like a set story. You had to go a certain way. You couldn't make any of your own like decisions. Like I could have just sat here and let Brad, you know, fight that zombie by himself, but I had the option of helping him out. So anyway, I'll explain some of the differences as we come across them. But anyway, all right, this is the same as some of the other games here, collecting files. I think they did away with it in, let's see, did they keep it? No, they kept it in 5. I don't remember from Resident Evil 6 if there's any, I don't remember if there's too much text that you can pick up, because they went all action with that one for some reason. Anyways, a picture postcard of a clock tower, kind of paying homage to one of the other series by Capcom, Clock Tower specifically. Alright, the following explanation is printed on the backside. A landmark spot, St. Michael Clock Tower. Alright. There's, I think 30 files in this game, and there's some ammo over here. That's why I went over here. You can't actually see it from the, well, it's not visible. You just have to know it's there. Or just, you know, peruse around this bar and you find some ammunition. It's not too surprising that you'd find ammunition behind a bar. A lot of drunks come in, you know, get rowdy. You have to taunt them to leave. Or I guess give them a reason to leave, not taunt them. You'd want to taunt them to fight them. But anyways, all right. Now we have this lighter, which we can use later. Which also another thing that I miss from this series is the fixed camera angles. I know in 4 and 5 and 6 they got rid of them. I kind of miss that. It was kind of like a staple of the series, or another staple. All right, let's see here. Oh, also there's I think 3 different scenarios to this game. So this scenario, the zombies didn't break this thing down, this barricade here, until I burned this rope here. But now, if I was playing a different scenario, which I think they're random, there's not a way to select one. Like if I'd come over here, then the zombies would have broke down this barricade before I even touched the door. And then there's a third one that I don't remember the differences there, but each time you play the game, also if you die, the game resets, so you don't get the same scenario every time you play it. I'll explain that as we go get further in, but like if I were to get killed by these zombies and I started a new game and got back to this same point, I could be playing one of the other scenarios where they just bust down the barricade before I even touch the door. But anyway, I'll shut up and play the game now. Like I said, I intend this to be casual, and I'm going to do a lot of explaining. So, alright, so this red explosive, well, I mean, I just gave it away, but anything red usually explodes in Resident Evil, the series in general, so just wait for some of these goons here to get a little closer, and then I can just Oh. Well, with auto aim, you can actually just target them with L2. But since I'm using manual aim, I actually have to aim for those myself and kind of guess where the aimer is pointing. Makes it a little bit more difficult, but I actually enjoy it a little bit more. I should have been doing that all along. Like I said, I played this back in the day and always used auto aim, but I see now that I shouldn't have been doing that. It takes some of the fun out of it. Alright, here's our first red herbs. Okay, we got 2 of them. Alright, and I think I've rambled on long enough for this episode, so I'm going to call this one here. So I'd like to thank everybody for watching, and if, you know, please subscribe to the Naked Gaming group channel. There's myself and some other cool people here making some cool content. Alright, see ya.